Yesterday's loss for the Arizona Cardinals was absolutely embarrassing. Let's talk about it. This is one of the only losses this entire season where I am taken aback and I really don't know where to stand with this team, because if we won this, the optimism would be through the roof going forward. But now we fall to a record of 1-3 and now there are so many question marks in the air. I'm going to kind of talk you guys through some of the things that I'm feeling, some of the things that I'm thinking, and you guys let me know how you're feeling about it. And some of you guys might agree on these, some of you guys might not. That's the whole point of this. But let's go ahead and dive into it, man, because the Arizona Cardinals got obliterated. Let's not go ahead and sugarcoat it. We sucked. It was embarrassing. That was a home game. We lost 42-14. Just an absolutely pathetic performance from every aspect of this team. Like the coaching staff, we're going to talk about them first. Jonathan Gannon, that was probably your worst game as an Arizona Cardinal head coach. Drew Petzing and Nick Rallis, you guys did not coach a great game either. Now, Nick Rallis, I understand, does not have a lot to work with. That defense is not fantastic. He's getting injuries like crazy with Justin Jones, Darius Robinson, BJ Ojolari. It's tough to make this defense good, especially when you're one of the least paid defenses in the entire league. When it comes to payroll, we are one of the bottom tier, if not one of the worst. So I kind of understand it, but 42 points from any NFL defense, and this is a consistent thing, it feels like if we don't score the ball, we are in trouble. Like if we don't score every single possession, we just know the defense isn't going to go out there and get a stop, and that is unacceptable because these are NFL players at the end of the day. You should be able to string together some stops, and the defense is abysmal. We're going to go ahead and talk about that right now too. I understand we don't have a lot of talent there, and everybody is dropping like flies, but you can't tell me that 42 points is acceptable to be put up on you. We couldn't stop the Bills. It felt like in Detroit in the first half, they were unstoppable. In the second half, we played a great game. The game against the Commanders, we couldn't do anything. And then the Rams was just a absolute dominant fest from the Arizona Cardinals. But this defense is terrible. Like, I don't know where to go from this. If we can't stop the Commanders, and I know they have been fantastic offensively all season long, but we just got obliterated. This is back-to-back weeks where they almost put up 40 bombs. So I kind of understand it, but at the same time, you guys are NFL players. You gotta be better. Like, it just ultimately comes down to you have to be better. We have talent. We have Jalen Thompson, Budda Baker, Sean Murphy-Bunting. We have Garrett Williams, Kazir White, Mac Wilson, Zaven Collins. Like, you have guys on this defense that should be able to string together a couple stops instead of just getting the ball ran down their throat, passed all over. We don't even look like an NFL defense. Like, let's just call it how it is. It's pathetic. Let's go ahead and flip it to the offense because they're not safe either, and Kyler Murray is not safe from discussion. This is the first time where I will genuinely admit that I am seeing the red flags. I love Kyler, but the last 2 weeks have not been it for this offense. You have to be better. You have to elevate this team. I know our wide receivers really don't separate. We're in the lower echelon of wide receiver separation in the league. Like, I totally understand that. And Drew Petzing is calling awful plays. This scheme is very bad, and we're going to talk about him in just a second after we wrap up with Kyler. But I'm seeing Kyler Murray be very hesitant in the pocket. His footwork looks very clumsy. He's throwing off his back foot again. He's overthrowing people, throwing the ball high. Like, these are things that need to be cleaned up. You can't go from MVP candidate to just non-existent. Now, the one thing he's not doing is turning the ball over. That is fantastic, but we're not putting up points either. This is back-to-back weeks where we put up under 15 points. We put up 14 last week against the Commanders and 13 against the Lions. As an offense that has the potential to be this explosive with Marvin Harrison Jr., who you took with the 4th pick, Kyler Murray, who I still think is a good, great quarterback, James Conner, who I think is a good to great running back, Trey McBride when healthy, which we were missing him last game, but I don't really think that's an excuse because the Washington Commanders are literally the worst defensive back unit in the league. We just saw the Bengals dissect them and put 33 up. There's no reason this Cardinals team should not have poured it on against them. But Kyler, you are the lead of this offense. You have to be better, and that is not an understatement anymore because we're starting to see the red flags. You got to clean these up. You have to play consistent football. I'm a Kyler activist, but like, let's just keep it real here. Last game was terrible. The only positive I would really say is that first drive, which for some reason we can always march in the first drive. We have like first drive opening syndrome. We look fantastic in the first drive, and then after that, just the play calling gets insanely terrible. Literally, we can't march the ball down the field. The run game will be non-existent. I don't know if it's because Petzing is just the freaking first drive genius, because typically these are schemed in and these are like predetermined plays that you are going to run. I don't know if he's just the goat at that or what, but like, it just slows down after that. It's just ridiculous. But Kyler, you got to be better. Let's talk about Drew Petzing though, because I feel like he's playing a very, very, very conservative game every single week. You got to let things rip. If something is working, don't abandon it. I don't understand why Amari Demercado when we're down 2 scores, 3 scores, is getting carries over James Conner, who was obliterating the defense. We couldn't get anything going all day. James Conner was like the only positive aspect, and he was subbed out for Trey Benson and Amari DeMarcado in like crucial situations. I understand you got to get a rotation and they do different things, but like, come on, man. They're not threats. Let's keep it real. Like, you need James Conner on that field. There's situations where Trey Benson and Amari DeMarcado can come into the game. That is fine. If James Conner is so gashed and he's so tired that he literally cannot run the football, take him out. I get it. It's just interesting play calling. Like I said, 4th and 1, we'll have it at midfield. The score will be like 13-7, 14-7. It happened in Detroit too, where it's 4th and 1 at the 50-yard line. You know you can't stop the Lions or you can't stop the Commanders. Why are we putting the ball back? It worked in the Lions game, but it didn't work in this game. We don't have an elite defense. We're not playing complementary football either. There's just a lot of things that need to be cleaned up, and I don't know if we can do that. We're in a very interesting spot because I don't know where to stand with this team, because this was such a crucial game for us to win, and I can't emphasize that enough because the Commanders are not as good as everybody thinks. Actually, let me go ahead and rephrase that, because the Commanders are insane right now. Jaden Daniels is leading that offense to top 5 potential, but I don't believe in that secondary whatsoever. There's no reason the Cardinals should have gotten shut down like this. That Commanders defense, I still don't believe in them. Like, that defense is going to hinder them. Jaden Daniels is playing MVP level football right now, and that offense is going at such an insane rate. And not only do I not think it's going to continue necessarily, but it will decline, and they're going to have games where that defense has to step up. And if they do that, then that's fantastic. This might have been the start of that for them. This could have been the confidence booster that they needed, but like, I still don't believe in that secondary whatsoever. The fact that we got shut out is very concerning. So now I'm sitting here with a couple questions in my head. Like, do the Arizona Cardinals just go ahead and blow this thing up for this year? Because we understood that this year was probably not going to be fantastic. I was expecting a leap somewhere between 8 and 9 wins. With these next 3 games, like, we have a very difficult schedule. We have San Francisco, we have the Packers, and the Chargers. Like, how many of those games are we realistically going to win? Because I don't think we're winning against San Fran. So if we don't, that's a 1-4 record. We also saw the Rams, who we destroyed 41-10, take them down to the wire and actually win on a game-winning field goal. So the NFL, anything is possible, but it's hard to see, especially the way their defense just played the Patriots. I really don't know. So like, I'm sitting here with a lot of questions. Like, do we trade Budda Baker? Are we gonna have to make that hard call? He's up for a contract extension. He's not signed to the team past this season. Are we gonna end up picking up the phone and trading him? Are we gonna go out and make a trade for somebody like a Hassan Reddick? Is that even realistic? Do we want to be competitive now? That it really comes down to that. If we were winning games, I think the phone could have been picked up, but we're losing. So do we just tank right now? And I don't necessarily mean tank, because this is a long season, but like, you know what I'm saying. Like, do we just ride out with this roster knowing the defense can't get a stop? We end up trading one of our best players, who I want to be a Arizona Cardinal lifer, in Budda Baker, or do we make the hard decision right here and just ponder the Kyler Murray thing? I like Kyler. I think he is our franchise quarterback. I still stand on that. I am still backing Kyler, but like, there might be a difficult decision had at the end of the season. If it's underperforming and Kyler Murray can't lead this offense to more points, then I mean, that is something that we're probably going to hear a lot about. We heard a lot about it last season when he was coming off a torn ACL. That was just a whole bunch of BS in my eyes. But if it's going to be real, it's going to be now. I'm not necessarily worried, but I do think this defense concerns me. The offense, they got to pick it up. Drew Petzing, you got to be less conservative. Kyler Murray, you have to stop being hesitant. Got to clean these things up. We have to play complementary football. Kazir White was frustrated with that defense. How long is this going to continue, man? I mean, we're going to find out. We have a record of 1-3. If we can't start rallying off wins, this season is going to derail so fast, and we're going to be here basically just eliminated from playoffs. So let me know how you guys are feeling about everything I said down in the comment section below. What are your biggest concerns? What do you think the Cardinals need to go do? You think we just sit pat? Like, let me know. And if you guys are new to the channel and ended up enjoying today's video, man, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content, so if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. Like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.